Hello everyone, glad to have you back. This month I didn't have as much time as I expected, so the longer more in-depth videos will have to wait a bit. I really do not want to rush them. In the meantime, I decided to play this, F-Zero Pocket, an F-Zero fan game designed to look like a game on the Game Boy. Like with GX Unleashed, this is my first experience with it and I will tell you all about it. First of all, what even is F-Zero Pocket? F-Zero Pocket is a fan game created by Linky439. Great name, by the way. It's basically an F-Zero game designed to look like it was made for the Game Boy Color. I'm no expert, so I can't tell you if this game would actually work on a real Game Boy Color, but that really isn't important here anyway. For more information, I recommend you to check out their itch.io page. I really don't want to sit here and read off it. And before I begin, a little side note. I played on version 1. There are newer versions with bug fixes, a time attack mode, but the gameplay doesn't really change, so there shouldn't be anything I missed. So let's start right where I always start when playing any F-Zero game, Grand Prix. We have 4 cups with 5 tracks each, which is quite a lot, more than I initially expected. Also, all 30 races from F-Zero X are in here as well, but we need to unlock them first. Each machine has 4 stats visible here. The first 3 are the ones we all know: body, boost and grip. The last one is weight. Instead of a number, it's a letter now. Also, the stats range from F to S now, but both F and S ratings are only on a few machines like the Twin Narita or Black Bull for example. Now let's finally get into the actual gameplay. I started with the Ruby Cup on the lowest difficulty simply to get a feel for the game, and from the very first second I can tell you it feels unlike every other F-Zero game. Probably because it's unlike any other F-Zero game. Since this game is designed to emulate a Game Boy Color, we really don't have many controls. We have A to accelerate, B to slow down, and the D-pad to go left and right, and to boost. Even with these limited controls, the game feels good to play. It took me some getting used to, but I managed to understand how to play it properly. You really need to find a certain balance. You simply can't keep holding down A or you will end up in a guardrail, and here they kinda damage you more than in other games. Or at least it feels like it. After I beat the Ruby Cup, which was very easy by the way, I raised the difficulty and went straight to the Diamond Cup, which was harder. I don't know what the difficulty setting does exactly, but it certainly felt harder. I also picked a different machine and I must say it feels different enough. I didn't go through all 30 machines, but all that I played with felt different from each other, so that's really nice that they aren't just skins. After the Diamond Cup I felt comfortable enough to go into Master difficulty, and that's where I really started to enjoy the game the most. While you see the Master gameplay footage, I want to talk about some of the tracks that I really liked. The Ruby Cup is rather basic. I don't dislike the tracks, they are all just pretty simple, fitting for the first cup, but compared to some others they really are nothing special. It's still nice as a tutorial to get used to the game. Also, multiple different obstacles are introduced here. First we have the boost pad, which explains itself, jump pads, I think they also explain themselves, mud sections, which slow you down, and in the later race, ice sections are introduced. Ice doesn't work like you would expect it though. Here you lose the ability to steer and your speed will not change as long as you're on it. Interesting choice. I kinda like it, to be honest. The Sapphire Cup introduces the most scary obstacle of them all. Mines. I feel like every other video I have something different to say about mines in F-Zero. Here they are absolutely brutal. You do not want to hit them though. They take a good bit of energy away, and they also send you flying like a jump pad. I know in the newer version of the game they do less damage, but I kinda like the challenge of having to remember where they are. It's a good challenge, to be honest. Next up are lava sections, which are basically big guardrails. As long as you are on them, you take damage. Pretty simple. Here's also the one track that kinda made me mad. Illusion Sudden Death. Watch one lap and try to figure out why. Did you see that? That's right, nothing to recharge your energy. And that's on a track with tight turns and mines. It took me a while to be able to beat it, but I eventually did it. Unique idea for a track, but damn, this really is kinda hard. The Emerald Cup introduces the last obstacle, magnet sections. They work like they do in the original F-Zero. They pull you to either the left or the right, but it isn't that difficult to get out of them. Now let me talk about this track here. White Land Trampoline. What do you expect from a track literally called Trampoline? Well, this I guess. Once again, this is a unique idea, which is something I really appreciate. It's kind of challenging, and it also took me a few attempts to get through it. Sentinel Tour is quite annoying because of, well, mines. Really do not want to talk about the fact that this track alone made me replay this cup more times than I wanted. The Diamond Cup doesn't introduce anything new, but I think the tracks here are surely the best. I really like these long jumps on Crater Impact, even though I managed to do this. A small bug, I guess. Hourglass and The Maze are nice tracks, but there really isn't anything special I can tell you about them. Death Valley has this part. What a fitting name. But I'm not the only one who struggled on here, because look at this. You usually only get to see things like that on some weird tracks on the X Cup and F-Zero X, but hey, I'll take it. And now we have the final track, which brings us back to Mute City, right where we started. This is a perfect final track. It adds all the things we have seen through the game into one challenging and fun final race. This is how it should end, in my opinion. And with that, we are done. All cups completed, a master, and all machines unlocked. Speaking of machines, let's look at them. Let me talk about how I just love these sprites. Even with such limited graphics, every machine and racer is recognizable. You can tell who that is and which machine this is. Really, really well done. I like it a lot. Now let me quickly mention the music. If this game had original music, I would have used that instead of my usual F-Zero covers and remixes, but this game uses music from GP Legends and Climax, because the creator didn't have the money or time to create or commission custom music, which is fine. Nobody expects one to do that. I know I'm slightly going off topic here, but the reason why I won't play the music here is because I simply do not agree with Nintendo. As many of you probably know, Nintendo is in a constant rush to shut down every channel uploading their game's original soundtracks, which may be their right to do so, but as someone who really enjoys listening to Nintendo music while writing scripts or gaming, it really gets harder every day, since all my playlists are getting emptier and emptier every day. I know one guy with 50 subs isn't gonna do anything really, but until Nintendo doesn't officially provide a way to listen to their music, I will continue to use music from the community, as long as they allow the usage of their music, of course. Check them out, by the way. As always, the links to the music I use are in the description. Rant's done. Anyway, there's a track creator, and yeah, I'm already in a rush and have little time to do this video, so maybe next time I will show you my custom cup, if I get around to doing it. I always want to be honest, so that also means talking about the negatives. There really aren't a lot. I only have 2 complaints. Well, one really, the other one isn't a valid complaint, but still. The serious one is this. Whenever you explode or jump off track, you get this screen, which is fine. This pass option is an interesting idea. It lets you skip the race if you struggle or run out of spare machines. But why is it the first choice? As someone who just presses A when they die, it screwed me over multiple times because I just pressed A and skipped the race. Kinda annoying. This can easily be fixed by either having a retry as the first option or having a confirmation pop up when you press pass. A really small complaint, but it still annoyed me a few times. The other complaint is this track. I hate it. Every part of it. I never want to play it again. Please add a pit area somewhere. It's just... Excuse me. I kinda lost it there. Sudden death is painful, but that's just my opinion. Please do not take it seriously. Okay then, enough complaining. Time for a conclusion. F-Zero Pocket is a nice game. It looks like F-Zero, it feels like F-Zero, it sounds like F-Zero. It is F-Zero. I highly recommend you to go and play it for yourself. It may look simple, but it really is enjoyable. It was a fun experience to play it. I usually don't play too many Game Boy or Game Boy Color games. I usually stick to the GBA when it comes to older handhelds, but this was, as I already said, pretty fun. F-Zero Pocket provides a nice challenge on the higher difficulties, and I personally think it's even harder than Cheap Legend. Sometimes at least. The amount of content in such a simple game is honestly amazing. 20 tracks, 30 races, and the ability to create as many races as you want. It's really well done, and all I can do is to tell you all to play it for yourself if you haven't already. I know I'm kinda late to the party. I just never got around to playing it. Better late than never, I guess. Hey, thanks for watching until the end. I planned something completely different for this and next month, but with the limited time I already mentioned and the fact that some things just take a bit longer to do than others, I just couldn't do it in time without it being rushed, and I really do not like rushed content. I do not know if I'm able to upload what I have planned next month, so we just have to wait and see. Maybe it's one of my bigger projects, maybe it's one of these shorter and simpler videos. I do not know yet. Anyway, I still hope you enjoyed it. Go and play F-Zero Pocket for yourself. It's a really well made and very enjoyable little game. So, I'll see you next time. Have a good one.